My asthma felt anything but normal. It was time for a new normal.
Okay. I'm playing some Saturn's Gate in the back. Not because I'm a Satanist. Because I like sacred geometry. I appreciate sacred geometry. Unless I drop it. Look, I'm a person too. Let me make it. I put this on this turtle. And I think, this is you, Senator Turtle Collins, or whatever your name is. Whatever his name is. The turtle guy. You know what I'm talking about. Looks like a turtle. So this world, I know that to get through this world, you go through a black hole and it comes out of a star. They have a giant star. It's called the Nova Gamma Matrix. I'm 5 years old. I have no idea why I'm calling it this. I'm already 5. I already know this. Did they program it? I don't know. I don't think so. I could see the images. There's a genetic scientist on our planet. These little gray alien guys have this as one of their worlds. I don't know why. Maybe they're from there, but they're a little more expanded than that. They're everywhere. They say, you've got the genetics and you have just mapped them out fully. Why do they need him to do it? I don't know. I'm only 5. Genetic scientist, Dr. Helzar. Whatever his name is, I don't know. Maybe it's a real person, maybe a different name. This guy makes the deal with the devil. They said, look, we've advanced so far. We've took out our emotions. We're pure thinking beings. We can't progress this way. We have to evolve back. We have to be blended back in with humanity, or we're not gonna progress. We've messed ourselves up. We've had everything. We've done everything there is to do, but we can't progress unless we do this. If you blend us back in with the humans, we'll let you have this world. You can have all of our technologies. You can do what you want, but we need you to conduct this work to put us back into the hybridization program. And he bites on this carrot. There are orbiting around the planet. There's a ring. It has a ring. The planet does. It used to rotate around like this, but it has an event where it rolls on its side. This becomes the light side, and this becomes the dark side. And there's a ring around it after that point, not before. He goes to this world, and he has in orbit, he has all these humans that he's taken. He's abducted them, and he's just taken them and frozen them. And he's got them up there. And my character comes in this story because he's unfrozen, and he's rescued by some people that take him down to the surface of the world. And you notice the sky is purple. It's not blue. They have a purple sky. And he just doesn't know what's going on, and he awakes, and he has his adventure through the process. But the first thing to introduce about this story is on the world. This guy comes in, and for a long time, he's a human, and he's doing scientist, but he's very technological. He's very air. He's very air, and what he does is he makes 4 robots that are like his children. He has one that's really fast. He's got one that's got drills, and it drills into the ground and it comes up. And it's got another one that's really big and strong. And he has another one that's like flying on it's got a half body, but it's got these blades, and it can cut and go through portals. They're like his children. He had 5. One of these children, while he's manipulating the humans all kinds of ways. He's hybridizing these gray aliens, and they end up looking like a troll or an orc or something. Because if you were to mix a gray alien with a human, you'd get a really weird looking fetus, sort of reptile-y human. You can see it. Don't act like you can't see it. They're like goblins or some shit. They look like goblins. And he's mutating the humans, and they live in the populations in the wild. They don't know he's there. They don't specifically know that there is a robot guy that's manipulating them and abducting them and turning different things on. But they all have different powers. They're like superhumans, and he watches them from afar, but he doesn't relate. He's like a scientist. He's a cruel Dr. Mengele type, But one day those humans kill one of his robots. There's a skirmish that they catch him spying on him or doing something. They don't know what the robot is. They kill one of them. So he goes genocide. He goes freaking genocide, tries to wipe out all the beings on the planet. But what happens is, when they're being killed and whatever, they commune. They all get together and they pray. They hold hands. Maybe, I don't know. But they come together, they call on the spirit of the planet, and it causes the planet to have a shift where it rolls on its side, and it puts this guy on the dark side. He's got a castle that floats in this valley with all these sharp rocks that he likes to throw people down onto, all like, finish him. You remember, something real perverse like in Mortal Kombat. Because he's messed up. He's messed up. His mother didn't love him enough. I don't think. She pushed him too hard to be something that he wasn't. He should have been a veterinarian. But she pushed him. He went to Ivy League college. He paid all of his student loans back. He didn't get his scholarship. He had to be the janitor. A real something, a real story, really stuff. So the planet, when it does that, the planet polarizes. On the light side, there's this giant mountain that comes up. Now imagine the sun in the sky at high noon and a mountain that goes up to it. And around the mountain are these clouds and just this palace up there. That is the polar light side of the planet archetype, like a being, like he's Clendoran, he's the overlord. And he watches over and keeps the balance on that planet. The people that are trying to escape are fleeing to the light side. Putting the dark side's going to be polarly locked out of the light. But on it, there's a cavern that opens up with a cave on it. And there's an underlord, the incubus. He lives underneath. They immediately start going to war with each other. The incubus casts a spell on the overlord's wife because he's got a wife. He's a good man, shining, glowing. One of them beings, badass looking dude. I should have drew it, but I didn't have the time. I wanted to tell the story. Glowing, badass. Wife gets pregnant. She gives birth to like a phantom creature. Like this entity doesn't have a body. He's like mists, and she dies. Try to break the heart of love. That's what the evil does. That's what real evil does. It tries to break your heart and then crush your existence out. It doesn't happen. Clendoran raises Zordania to be balanced. He makes him a warrior of the light. Zordania's a badass. Zordania's got the magic skills. He is. Now, while the Exodus is occurring, this guy, by this point in time, he's already become a robot. His body is mostly robot. He's outfitted himself to go and see this mission gets handled. He's going to be number 5 now with his 4. That's what he's going to do because his oldest son died. He was killed accidentally, just indiscriminate robot before. It never was his son before. Now I think he has a son that dies too. I think it adds a little to it. See, the story is malleable. I've written it out in books throughout my life. One of them I still have, and I keep it in there. But it's not a set story in stone, but it has a progression that goes and characters that come in at different times, as you will see, because I'm going to give you the broad strokes of the story, because that's what this video is about. Fighting asthma. Telling good soul stories that you've had since you were a kid. So the resistance of the humans that comes to fight, he's fighting. He's like the strongest human fighting against these robots that are trying to genocide him and everything he loves. They get into a fight. He gets into a fight on the volcano with the robot, Primeval. He fights him. This is the guy. And he tosses his ass into the volcano. But because of whatever power he had, he went rage, revenge, vendetta styled. He merged in with the volcano, being like a fiery, like a knight. He's like a knight. Skin's burnt off, just skeleton, but he's got his power still keeps him together. Rage, hatred, all the negative passions. He's got him. Dreadlock. That's his name. Dreadlock. And then in the end, they're all warlords. Primeval, Air, he's the scientist. Dreadlock, he was the human being manipulated on. The resistance, the leader of the resistance, gets transformed by being thrown into the volcano. The volcano is here, right on the light, because they had this battle right here at this volcano. It's right in on the light side. And he will raise an army of his circle of dudes that are going to be like 300 undead. Like 300 if 300 were zombies. Or like not even, it's not even a zombie. They're not zombies. They're like worse than Ghost Rider. Because they're like on fire, but they're skeletons. There ain't no zombies going. Ain't no zombie biting your ass. They're skeletons and warriors and like a ghost army or something. Pretty bad news. But they're not evil. They're not evil. They're still in a vengeful sort of spirit, locked in stasis in that vengeful rage that I'm sure that we all know and can familiarize ourselves with from different points in time in our life. Now the last guy, this guy came up underneath the Underlord, who's Incubus. Actually, I think he's actually going to become the Darkitect is what I'm going to call him. And he's like a vampirical type of demon entity or whatever summoned by Underlord. But he tries to take over because he's very like Lucifer. He wants to be the god of the Lord. He's like remember how Starscream was always messing up Megatron? Like that, but without him being a bitch. Because I think Starscream was kind of a bitch, whiny little bitch. He's not the whiny little bitch. And he gets cast out. There's a mountain that's raised up on the planet here that puts a shadow that he's confined in over here. Now he starts tunneling out and doing stuff, and he can fight, but he can't be in the sun because he's vampirical and the sun messes him up. But he has all these crazy powers. He's a badass too. He tries to take over the world. They all are trying to take over the world for a long period of time. until they have like 3 world wars like ours. First one blows up all their places. There's got to be some symbolism to this, because this is way too early in my life that I'd come up with this, and there was too many things. The characters, the maps that I've drawn. Later on in life, they would come and they would appear, the different names that I chose to make, even some of them that I made up. Because when you just put a word together and you're using it, and that's your creation, and someone else can do that anytime. You could say sandwich and put the wings on it, and put it in parentheses and call it sandwich, which is making it maybe be the title of this video. But this is my inner worldscape, and I think that I am in the higher dimensions, this world, because of the being in the core gets woke up during the final war. The Primus Omegus. Primus Omegus has got a line through him, and on one side he's dark with bright burning eyes. The other side he's light shining with dark eyes, and he's got 2 sets of them, and this crown, and he's got 4 arms, and like he just goes, and on one side he's just creating the world, and the other side is just destroying it. Like one's destroying and one's recreating what was destroyed, like wiping it out and then just putting something else and just going. He's something like that, and that's what he does, and there's nothing they can do to stop him except they have to unite. When they unite, they put him back in. He goes back into the earth, because while he's out messing it up, the world's being destroyed. The world's being destroyed because he's physically destroying it. He's going through, it's dying in one way from the outside, collapsing and breaking apart. Meanwhile, he's putting it back together. So it's not something you can just stand by and scoot over out of his way. Nothing. It's the Langoliers again. He's taking it out and putting it back in, completely anew. And I think that harkens to our spiritual circumstances in this world. I just wanted to share that, and I hope you enjoy it. And I hope you have a merry freaking New Year. Happy New Year. Merry if you want to be merry. If you're just joyful or gleeful. Glee. I'm happy to hear about any glee. Anyone being tickled. I think being tickled would be nice. I'd love to be tickled. Just somebody just to tickle the shit out of me. Make me laugh and piss on myself. I would love that in my world again. Just the simple things. God bless you all.